Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so everyone can see. Always. No, that's not what I wanted to share. Hold on. Yes. No, it's not. Stop share. So what happens when you have 15 different windows open? Okay. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I put this together really quickly to kind of outline May for everybody. I don't know how many of you hopped on the call, the Gather to Know last night, but every Tuesday, since there are some of you that are new on the team, every Tuesday we have what's called a Gather to Know, and it's on different topics. So yesterday was on the all the things May. So there is a recording and they'll post that in the training center. So you can go back and view all of those. Okay, so first things first, wanted to just review some things that are coming up with everybody. The first one being the monthly meetup. So we had Crush about 2 weekends ago now, and Crush was our yearly conference that we go to. So what they're doing is leaders are having kind of like a leaders in living rooms, bringing home Crush meetups in their house over the next 2 weeks. So in case you didn't see, this was posted on the Time for Wine crew. I'll post it in our team page too, but if you live local to any of these areas, you can sign up. There'll be wine involved, and it'll be a great opportunity for you to meet some local people near you. So the one that's closest to my house is our Time for Wine crew leader, my friend Laura. So she's hosting in Southeastern PA on the 11th. But there are some in Jersey, in New York, North Carolina, Colorado, and Maryland. Okay, so if any of those are near you, not to say there won't be more, but there could be others that are released coming up. So that is something that you can participate in. Okay. The second thing I wanted to share was the Wine Club Concierge. This is completely new to ONEHOPE. So if you aren't aware of Wine Club is two different options of joining. It's completely free to join, but we have the Build Your Own Wine Club and we have the Mari's Picks Wine Club. So that is a seasonal shipment that comes 4 times a year. And you can pick with either 4, 6, or 12 bottles, and then the frequency, either 1, 2, or 3 months. So the concierge is really nice. This is not something that we've had before. But you can manage your customers' wine club. So if you're a CE, I highly recommend joining Wine Club at some point because you get free shipping all year round. So instead of that $15 flat rate shipping, anytime you order 4 bottles or more, you get shipping for free. So you can swap your customers' wines. You can change the frequency of their shipments. You can change the quantity. You can add the purchase with purchase, update shipping addresses. So this is really nice if you get that email saying that one of your, wine club members wants to cancel. You can reach out and say, hey, do we want to change our frequency or our quantity? I can swap your wines for you. You can also reach out to them and say, hey, there's a new, Italian wine collection or margarita wine. Do you want me to swap that out and add that to your shipment? So I put this video in here just so that you can see how this works. Let's hope this actually links to here and it works. But it's just like a minute video on how to use the concierge tool. This is out of our training center. There's a ton of different ideas. Let's see if this works. Well, you can't hear it, but you can see it. So basically what it's showing you is to go into your contacts, clicking the contact and click Wine Club. You click on their subscription and then you can see what their subscription looks like and what bottles are in there. You click the swap button and you can type in whatever wine you want to change by category. And then all you're going to do is click swap wine. So that's how you can swap their wine for them. And that will change. And what you can do is add the 50% off PWP. You can change their shipment date, as you can see here. So it's every month, 2 months, or 3 months, which is a nice option for them to change that up. You can change the quantities. And feel free to interrupt me if anybody has any questions. You can change their shipping address. So you can go and view this on your own as well. You can change their payment information. But this is one place that you can find this demo. And all I did was I searched in our help center, Wine Club Concierge. And then I was able to bring this training up. So really, really quite simple. So that's just something that I would definitely take a look at. Okay, so we're gonna get into
that through the website or through the app?
That is through the website is where I found it, just because I have an Android, so I don't have the app. So definitely check that out. But it's something to bring to your team members' attention because it just gives that extra customer service. So before we get started, we're gonna talk a little bit about the incentive that's going on starting this month. But I did this big training at Crush for everyone that attended, and it was all about goal setting and 5 steps of goal setting. And I'm going to do this training in depth probably next week or the week after. But really, what I want us to kind of think about is before you get into selling, before you get into, offering the opportunity or really just growing in general, growing your business, you need to ask yourself, what's your why? Because you can't really start into an incentive period or start selling, start a business if you don't know what your why is. So ask yourself what your why is. I know I'm going to kind of shout Cindy out a bit because she shared her story when she introduced herself before I hit record. So that is Cindy's why, and she was bold enough and brave enough to share that with us. And obviously we share a very similar why. Both of us have lost our sons. So that's what brought us together. So the reason why I wanted to share that is because obviously I shared my why with her and she remembered that. She then reached out to me years later, a couple years later. We had that connection. So if your customers don't know your why, they need to know your why. I'm also going to shout out Anne Marie. She posted a couple, I think it was last week, she posted her story. And I highly recommend you read it because she was really raw and vulnerable and shared why she's doing what she's doing, and got a huge response from it. So I really would dig deep and figure out what your why is, because really you can't know the how of what you're doing until you know why you're doing it, and then the how will follow. So I always, when I'm coaching people, is I'll always say, what's your why? Why is it important to you? And I'll keep asking why, like keep digging deeper. And I always say, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. So keep asking yourself, why am I doing this? What does it mean to me? How does it make me feel? How will I feel once I reach it? Because if your why is not big enough, your excuses will be. And that's the truth. You will always come up with an excuse that is bigger than your why if your why is not big enough. So I would challenge you to write down your why, to post it, to go live with it. Lives really share out there way more than a post does. So if you can go live and you can share that, and maybe even do Jake's challenge that he had up there, I think it's pinned to the top of the community page. Go live and share why you're doing this, and do it multiple times. So start there. Okay, so I want to get into, I'm going to minimize us here. I want to get into the summer incentive. So this incentive, if you just joined, it's the perfect time because it's from May 1st to July 31st. So every year they do some sort of incentive multiple times a year. So this one's the Crushing Summer Incentive. There's a purpose for why they're doing this incentive right now, and that's to set you up for the fall. A lot of times people take a break in the summer. They'll say, come up with an excuse that June and July are too busy. It's the J months, January, June, July. And they say, oh, it's a slow time. It's a slow month. People are busy. We have vacations, all of these things. The kids are home. And obviously they'll come up with excuses. So really this incentive is put out there to keep the momentum going in your business because OND is our busiest time of year. That's October, November, December. So if you have a busy summer, that's going to lead that momentum and build that momentum into the fall. So the earning period is May 1st to July 31st. How you can earn. I'm going to skip this to the next page because it'll kind of go over that. So it's important to note, we did just have an incentive that ended for those of you who have been with us, and it was to earn the Punta Cana trip. Now this changed a little bit. So it is the same type of program that they're running. So it's based on rings. So a ring, if you're new, this kind of coincides with your Fast Start program. Your Fast Start is your first 3 months that you're with us. And you earn a ring by having $500 in new customer retail sales. That means a new customer, not yourself. So with a different email address. So $500 in sales and 1 team member. So that will close a ring. And you'll see that if you're new within your first 3 months on your dashboard, when you log in, you'll see how close you are to those rings. So when you earn those rings as a new CE, you're going to also get $150 in cash if you're in your first 3 months. And you get to double dip on this incentive. So you get to qualify for this incentive and earn your Fast Start rings, which are going to get you all of the swag that's in your Fast Start flyer and all of the free wine, and also qualify for this. Oh, there he is in the waiting room. Okay, so the way we do this is by personal selling. Yes.
You said the Fast Start is first 3 months. I got a text saying that it ends tomorrow.
That's your Rockstar bonus. So
okay.
Rockstar bonus is your first 2 weeks. So first 2 weeks is if you close a ring in that first 2 weeks, that $500 in new customer sales and a team member, you get an extra bonus of 6 free bottles of wine. That's your Rockstar bonus wine.
Okay.
That's, even though that's ending, you still have Fast Start program for your 3 months. So it's the first 3 full months. So let's say that you joined in May. May won't count. You can still start earning in May, but you would have June, July, and August. If you joined in April, you have May, June, and July as your Fast Start months. So there is a benefit to joining at the beginning of the month. For those, I think Cindy joined yesterday. So May, you kind of get a little bit extra time. All right. So that is how Fast Start works. You also get to double dip on this incentive though. So you really can rack up all the things. Whereas those of us who have been with ONEHOPE for a while can, we don't have that a little bit of extra. So the personal selling, you sell $1 in new customer retail sales. So this is different than the last incentive for those of you who are with us. It's not PCV. It's not your older customer sales. It's new customer retail sales. So you get points, 1 point per dollar for new customer retail sales. So they really want you to get out there and find new customers, expand your network, do new events. Here's another difference. This, you also get, instead of that PCV points, you get points for a qualified event. So you get 500 points for each qualified event that you close. And what that means is a $500 event. Okay. Once you close it, you'll get that 500 points. Okay. So really what you want to do is not have people order under your link that has your name on it. Now that's your main web page. You'll still get commission from that, but you want to create an event link. Okay, so that's like a party link. So if you're not sure how to do that, make sure that you ask your mentor. You can ask me. There's a quick video on the Help Center that shows you exactly how to do that. So you'll want all sales to go under an event link. So once you hit 500, you can close it or keep it open and you'll get 500 points. Okay. So closing a ring, you get 2,000 points for each ring. Every 4th ring that you close, you get another 2,000. If you have a team, then you get points for closing, for when they close rings as well. So that's how that works. It's the same as last time. Any questions on the points? No? Okay. Here's the prize levels. So this is really cool. So these are all things that are going to set you up for success with your tastings, as well as earn free crush. Now, when we did our little intros, a lot of you talked about crush. There were 7 of us. No, there was 8 of us at crush this year. So every single one of us can earn crush for free next year. So it's always usually the 3rd weekend of April. They will announce where crush is in the fall. So we have no idea where it's going to be, the location, but you can earn it completely free. So at 5,000 points, you get this ONEHOPE branded fanny pack. And we love our ONEHOPE swag. 7,500 points, you get your crush registration for free. You get a tank top that says I make poor decisions. And you get a custom label bottle. And the reason why they're doing this is because they want you to have examples of gifting, you know, products that you can share at tastings so that you can talk to those realtors and talk to those business owners to do their own custom labels. So that's level 2. And level 3, you can actually design your own custom shimmer bottle. So it could be your logo, it could be your favorite saying, it could be really whatever you want it to be. You get the corksicle glasses, the napkins, the wine bucket, and you get your hotel voucher for 2 nights at Crush. So that alone right there, the registration and the hotel voucher is over $600 in value. So I'm guessing all of this together is probably somewhere around like 800 to 1,000. So there's really quite a lot of things. Now, last incentive that we had, the Punta Cana trip, was also a 3-month incentive, but it was 20,000 points. This is half of that. So really doable. Okay, everyone can do this if you work towards it. So that's the prizes. Now, this little thing on the right is new. I made that up. But you'll see in the index, if you go under the help center and the index, you'll see this tracker. So you'll see under monthly initiatives on the index, you'll see this tracker. So what you can do here, if you're somebody that likes to have things more like in numbers, you can keep track of your points this way and keep track of what you get. I like to color. So I made up this, I haven't shared this with anybody yet, but I made up this coloring tracker. So this right here is basically just a way that you can color in your points. So the point totals here equal 5,000. The point totals in level 2 down here equal, it's another 2,500 to get you to 7,500. And then level 3 is 10,000 points. So I added point totals. So as you're earning those points, you can color in the flowers. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can. Hold on. Yeah, mute somebody.
I'm doing a story about the state having to give women equal wages and the judge ruling on it flat. That's pretty cool, right? Times are changing.
There. I think it's Darius. If you could mute the background. I can't find you on here. Hold on. Okay. Oh wait, I don't want to do that. To go backwards. Hold on, guys. Is there any questions about any of those trackers? All right. So I will post that for you guys, that coloring tracker if you want to print it in color. But all the point values, I like when everything is all in one page. So for me, I just kind of created that because I like to print it in color. And then I know how much more I have left. Okay, so what they really want to focus on is this. You're going to see a lot of this: book, teach, enroll. So book new hosts, enroll new teammates, and wine club members teach others to do the same. So this is basically like, you know, hosting events. This part here is offering the opportunity. and then mentoring. And that's what I'm here for too, is to help do that. Okay, so whatever you do, you want to teach others to do the same. Okay, now I just created these literally 10 minutes before we hopped on the call. So I have a pinned album to the top of our Hope Heals team that has it's a booking blitz album. So I have like ideas for how to have a conversation about booking a tasting. I have every month from I think January on, and I look at the nationaltoday.com calendar for different ideas of different tastings that you guys can have. And then I come up with theme events. So if you're new to One Hope, you can know I'm a themed, I think in themes. So if you ever have an idea that you're not sure how to kind of pull off as a tasting, I can definitely help you do that. So here's some May national holiday ideas. Obviously tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo, but you could really carry this idea on, you know, kind of throughout the whole month. So you could do like Cinco de Drinko, or I like doing a limes and wine tasting. So I take, I go on to onehopewine.com and I search like One Hope blog, and you can access that from your dashboard as well. But we have different margarita recipes. So it'll show you different ways you can use some of our wine and make margaritas out of them. So that's what I do is I take half the bottle and I turn it into a margarita, and then I have them taste the wine by itself. And we also have that new margarita wine, the lime and the strawberry. So that's a good summer theme as itself. May 6th is beer pong day. It might be fun to do pong and pairings with wine, and obviously put a lot less in there, or maybe just have a little side cup. So if you're into games, that might be fun. I've done a Derby Day wine tasting before for the Kentucky Derby. That was a lot of fun. Somebody had a Kentucky Derby party, and I did a tasting at that. So that's a fun thing to do. Any time of year you can do wine and wellness parties, partnering up with yoga studios or any kind of wellness doctor's offices to do any kind of customer appreciation event. The 6th is scrapbook day. You could do some kind of crafting like scrapbooking and sips. Pilates day, Pilates and pairing. Nurses week is the 6th. Brandy and Alyssa, you could do, I don't know if this theme sounds weird, but wine IV stat tasting and sips. So you could celebrate nurses. You could do pet week, Pinot for pets, teacher appreciation week, wine because I teach. You can make little cute wine teacher glasses and do some sort of teacher event. The 9th is Moscato. Moscato goes really well with Mexican, so I kind of made that one up. Small business day, you could contact any local small business and have them do like a customer appreciation day, at their store. Brunch and bubblies are always fun. I forgot to write May 14th is actually Mother's Day. It's not Bad Moms Day, but I know Sarah's done a bunch of these before, Bad Moms tastings with the movie.
And it's my birthday.
Oh, it is
So,
really? Well, happy
yes.
birthday.
Awesome.
That's a great day for a tasting.
Yes.
Yeah, so you could do a Bad Moms wine tasting or minis and mimosas. I'll fix that. I forgot to write Mother's Day there.
Party like a mother is what I
Party
call
like
it.
a mother. Yeah, that's always fun. So minis mimosas is where you could bring contact like a mom's group in your area, and you could have the kids come play while the moms drink. So a little play date. Chocolate chip day is May 15th. You could do a chocolate and wine pairing. Our chef Dan at our winery, he has an amazing chocolate chip cookie recipe that you could get your hands on and make. For that one, it goes perfectly with our cab. National Police Week, I know Anne Marie's doing something for this. Wine pairings for police, you could do something like that. May 16th, you could do like an outdoor patio party, chill and grill. We have Mimosa Day coming up, muffins and mimosa. We have Pinot Grigio Day, Grigio in the garden. You can see I like alliterations. Pizza party day, you can contact a local pizza shop. I know Anne Marie did that. Flower day, succulents and sips. It could be like a make and take or bubbly and bloom. Boss Babes Day is the 22nd. That would be a great opportunity to do like an opportunity event to share the One Hope opportunity. And that could be also virtual, like online. Maybe we could all do that together. National Wine Day is the 25th. You could do winos, women in need of sips. Flip Flop Day, a really, really popular tasting of mine in the summertime is always sangria and sips. I take half the wine and I turn it into sangria. And there's tons of recipes for that. And then the 31st, I wrote down macaroon tasting. So any partnering with any bakery. So here's just some fun theme ideas for you guys. And when I finish this real quick, I'm gonna have anybody else share what they're doing. Okay, so why did it do that? I don't know how to go back when I am. Sorry, we skipped a slide here. Okay, can everybody see that? Yes, okay. So you're gonna start with your host reach outs. Like I said, I have a ton of information on overcoming objections in that Booking Blitz album. But what you can do is kind of like the mountaintop method. So you can start with asking if they've ever thought about getting paid for their own wine. And then you can talk about, hosting an event, if there's any important causes that are close to their heart. And then you can talk about shopping and moving to join the wine club. Okay, so you're going to think about, I want everybody to think about making a new list of people, and you're going to think about people who are impact driven, like people who are always raising money. Anybody who just knows anybody, that would be your influencers and connectors. And then anybody who would be your dream team would be people who you'd want to join. All right, so that's kind of how that works. In your reach out section on your dashboard, I know some of you do use these quite often, but they have all of these different, I'm going to go back to the presentation mode here. They have all of these different already pre-formulated text messages and emails and things that you can share. So you can see here at the top, there's booking things, business builders, offers, announcements, promotions, products. So all of these tools are at your fingertips already for different ways you can reach out. And all you have to do is click on them. And then if you've already imported your contacts into your back office, which is really simple to do, you can click on any of these and it'll send that message either to them by email or phone number. It already is like a pre-populated message. So this is how you can kind of leverage the Her Story collection, which is our new collection because it's only available for hosts and wine club members, that Italian collection. So this is a great opportunity to utilize the reach outs. Okay. Now, some things that are coming up that you might want to keep in your mind. Yesterday, like I said, we had the Gather to Know, which was all about May. So if you want to get an even deeper depth conversation as to what I went over tonight, you can look at that. And the replay, you can go in our training center and find any of that. But this is what's coming up. So if you want to write this down, May 9th is the Her Story collection. May 16th, this is every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, or I think it's actually at 8. Prospecting and key points of a discovery call. So discovery calls are where we connect and I help introduce any type of opportunity for you. May 23rd, selling strategies of wine club, and May 30th, closing rings and team building. Okay, so this is huge. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. So just take that first step. So back to the beginning, declare your why. So share your goal with me or your mentor. And I encourage some of my leaders to do this today, to download the 90-day plan in the index. So it's under business building. If you look in the help center and then the index, and it just kind of gives you this clear focus of what you're going to be doing the next 90 days. So I would encourage you to fill that out and then kind of reach back out to your mentor or myself and go over it with them, because really goals don't happen unless you write them down, unless you tell somebody else, because then they can help hold you accountable for that. Make a new list of 40. So sit down and make a new list of people: wine lovers, business builders, local nonprofits, those who love to give back or host events. And that's where you're going to start. I always say block out your calendar with dates that you have open for tastings. if you're stuck right now, host your own. Okay. And it doesn't have to be at your house. I've even done them at BYOB restaurants. I've had random moms that I didn't even know that I posted in a mom's group. And I just said, who wants to go out for a mom's night out? And shockingly, I had like 20 people say, yes, get me out of here. And we met at a BYOB. I brought the wine, they paid for their dinner, and I introduced wine. So it could be anywhere. Use the Booking Blitz album to have your own Booking Blitz power hour. So kind of maybe you could partner up with someone on the team, spend a few minutes or an hour. It can be 5 minutes at a time, sending messages to new people. Offer a fun few themes using the May ideas. The best tip I have on booking is really being specific about what dates you have open. I can't stress this enough. Like when you say, hey, do you want to have a tasting in May? Like they just freeze. It's kind of like booking a doctor's appointment. So you want to be specific. I always book the first half of my month first, and then I book the second half to ensure that I'm getting 2 paychecks, because we get paid at the beginning of the month and the end of the month. So I have a much better chance of booking the following month if I book the beginning of the month first. So I always say something like, do you prefer weekends or weeknights? And then I'll say, okay, great. I have this date, or this date open. Which one works for you? Offer discovery calls with me or your mentor. Okay. And that doesn't have to be just for joining your team. It can be for hosting. It can be for, it could also be for nonprofits. It could be for gifting. It can be for anything. And then touch your business every day, even if it's in 5-minute chunks. This was something I really focused on during my talk at Crush. Write down what you did do instead of what you didn't do, because then you'll keep your mindset positive and you'll focus on all the things that you were able to accomplish instead of all the things that you didn't do, which is definitely huge. And then attend a post Crush Leaders Series event that I posted about earlier, if you can, if the one is local to you. Okay, so that is my little presentation. Hopefully that helped kind of give you guys an idea about what the incentive is, how to earn it. It's really about tastings and teammates, and it always has been. The way that you grow your business is tastings and teammates. It's not anything that you have to do. None of this is anything that anyone has to do in their business. But if it's something you want to do to grow your business, then it's really about booking events and sharing the opportunity, right? So we're here. I'm definitely here to help you do that. So who here has an event in May that you want to share with anybody? Like, I know I have a waxing. We're doing waxing and wine. I've partnered up with Waxing the City, which is a wax studio. And so I've been doing like a series of tastings there. So they have me coming every Thursday this month. And we're doing waxing and wine every Thursday. So people come in who have appointments and they get their waxing done, and I share wine. So that's, obviously an option. I have a virtual event coming up where this is interesting. So this is actually how I met Erica. So Erica did a virtual tasting with me. She was in her kitchen with her friends and her family, and I was on my Zoom. So I was on the computer and she set me up in her kitchen and I did the tasting. She poured and I talked. So I have one of those with somebody else this month. So that is something that you can offer too if you have somebody that maybe lives farther away from you, and they would obviously get the wine and do everything for you. And that's actually a really excellent way to transition them from a customer then host to a CE, because they're doing your job for you, which is what happened to Erica. And she'll tell you that it took her a while and she wanted me to leave her alone. I didn't leave her alone.
I did. And it was pre-COVID and it was my first Zoom experience. And I was like, I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm like, she's going to think I'm standing her up this whole time, because I think we started like an hour late. Like it was like crazy late by the time we actually started. The whole thing was crazy.
Yeah.
The whole thing was
So-
crazy.
That's an idea. You could do that. I'm doing a lot of margarita. I'm doing 2 Margarita Monday tastings this month. Even if it's not on Cinco de Mayo, but I'm gonna use the wine, turn them to margaritas, and use the margarita wine to kick it off. So there's a lot of fun things you can do. I gave you those ideas for the national crazy holidays because they are really fun. It just gives a reason to party. Like, who wouldn't want to do those things? If you have any other ideas and you're like, oh wait, I have this person, but I don't really know what to offer, just pick my brain, because I promise you I will come up with a crazy idea for you. That's just the way my brain works. So does anyone else have an event that they want to share that they're doing this month to maybe give anyone else some inspiration?
I'll go. I'll be your volunteer.
Thanks. What do you have
I'm
going on?
doing an Italian night, actually. I didn't realize that was a pizza day. I actually made a note of that, but it turns out that it's actually the same day,
Oh,
according
no
to your
way.
list.
That's awesome.
So happy coincidence, but we're doing an Italian night where each of us is bringing some Italian themed food, and we're gonna have the Her Story wines. And I'm also gonna bring the frizzante because I know one of them likes sweet stuff and none of those are sweet. So I wanted to make sure I had something there for her. And all of us are wearing red, white, or green. So
Oh, cool.
kind of theming it out a little bit.
That's
I also
awesome.
have somebody's birthday party that we're doing a tasting for too, but
I
it's
need to.
not as fun as the Italian theme.
You could do I'm trying to find an outlet that works here. For some reason my outlets are not working. You could do a birthday and bubbly tasting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Be fun.
we have mostly the sweet bubblies that she's getting. She's placing the order Monday.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely a fun one. I once had somebody do a 50th birthday party Zoom. Like, she was in California. Her and her friends got dressed up like crazy. They met together and I was on the other end on Zoom. Well, no, they weren't even all together. She only had 2 people in the room with her. She decorated, like, they were wearing dresses. They dressed up and everyone from all around the country logged on in their dresses. They all celebrated
Love
her.
it.
So that was during COVID. So yeah, there's nothing that you really, there's so many different opportunities of ways that you can connect with people. Anybody else have anything fun going on this month? Or an idea that you want to kind of learn more about? No?
I highly recommend the party like a mother idea. I had to cancel mine because I ended up not being able to do it the day I had it planned.
And so Sarah, what do you do for that?
For
Yeah, I
party
want
like
to
a
know,
mother.
Sarah, because
That's exactly what I was just going to ask.
I need to know.
It is my absolute favorite party I throw every year, and I do it myself. This is a party I throw, so it's on my level. So you guys know my level now that y'all have met me in person and
Yes,
know
Sarah's
how
a
I do
dancing
things.
queen.
It's got Sarah's name all over it.
So it does have my name all over it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So the first time I did it as kind of a mom's night out, and we came over, and I have a projector outside, so I projected Bad Moms in the background while I made I pre-made most of them, but some of them I made that night, wine cocktails. So I've started kind of as my favorite thing to do is wine mixology. So I've come up with some awesome and stolen some other recipes and made them up. Also, wine jello shots are a thing. It works really well with the sparkling Moscato, actually, which I don't normally like, but it works really good because it adds it kind of bubbly. That was a big hit, obviously, with the moms. But you don't have to play Bad Moms. The second time I did it in the middle of the day, and I ended up having moms just walking down the street with their kids, popping into my backyard, being like, whoa, what do you have going on? And I was like, yeah, here, come try the things I have. For the recipes, I would give them out to anybody that wanted them. And There's a sangria recipe, the blood orange sangria recipe. I guarantee you, if you have not gotten the picture of that one or made that one, make that recipe, and that's 2 bottles sold every time somebody wants to buy it or make that recipe, because it calls for our Pinot Noir and our sparkling brut, and it's amazing.
Is that on the blog?
Yeah, it is. No, maybe it's not. I have it though. I can share it.
Yeah, post it to the page and just say like for anyone who was on the call, this is the blood orange sangria that mom's go crazy over or something.
Yeah. I can share that. I can share the Moscato Jello shots, which, by the way, gelatin. It just says gelatin. Just pick a Jello flavor. I did lemon lime. It's whatever you choose. Yeah, it's whatever you choose. That one's a good one. I know I told some people recently at Crush how to float your red wine on your margarita mix.
Yes.
The margarita mix, if you freeze it like long enough, like for about an hour, it becomes slushy. So then you can float your red wine on top of it. It makes a really pretty picture. And it's delicious.
Yeah,
because I'm not really big in.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm not really into the margarita mixes. They're a little sweet for me, but if I add like the brut or if I add the red wine, I'm down with it. It makes it less sweet for me.
Sarah, what red wine do you mix with it?
I usually do just the red blend or the Cab Sav.
Yeah, Brandy, the recipe that's in the blog for the red wine margarita, it calls, I think, for red blend. And you can take like the back of a spoon, like you turn it over, you know what I mean? And then you trickle the red wine over top of the spoon. So it creates a layer on top of the margarita. So it like will put a layer of red on the margarita. It's really pretty. It's very popular. So that's one I definitely do when I do like a limes and wine or a margarita Monday. It's definitely a big hit.
Yeah. The margarita stuff has been a big hit. But I find it's a better hit when I make it in a mixed version. At least for my crowd.
Like what, like you mix the two wines, you mean?
Yeah. Either I mix like with the red or I mix with the bubbly. Either of them. The lime, the biggest hit I had with the lime one was with the sparkling brut and like actual lime juice to make that lime flavor punched up. Because that was what I think it just needs a little more tang. Like a true margarita has that real tang to it. So if you add lime juice, it really does help.
Yeah, I think the one I did had limeade. Is what I
that
think
would do it
for it. Yeah, so it was like frozen limeade. And then I forget whether that was the one with the Pinot Grigio or the one with the brut. But there's like a Pinot Grigio margarita and there's a brut margarita. There's a red blend margarita. There's a couple.
I'll have to play with this idea now. I bet those margarita ones make a good Jello shot too, with the lemon lime.
Add tequila. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Do you put tequila right with the margarita wine?
Yep.
Like a splash or? No.
I love her face. She's like,
it's like, no, I just threw half the bottle in there. My husband laughed too.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
But yeah, my husband goes, you put a splash of the wine on the tequila. It's probably what you do. Yeah, I haven't been able to try the margarita wine either. So
yeah, it's a bit sweet, but it's a crowd favorite for anyone that loves sweet stuff.
Yeah. I mean, most people I feel like have been eating or drinking it just over ice with brut on top. But some people I think have been using club soda, tequila, you can put jalapenos in it. There's a lot of different things you can do. Hi, Janet.
Hi.
How are you? I recorded so that you can go back.
Okay. Okay, good. Sorry, I was late.
That's okay. And Darius popped on too. Anybody else have any tastings or anything going on or anything that you're questioning about? Anything about the incentive that you want to know more about? I know many of you, at least those of us that were at Crush, are definitely going to try to earn Crush for free. For
So
sure.
Crush is like now a whole nother year away, right?
Yes. So you have an opportunity to earn Crush the hotel for 2 nights and your ticket for free, plus all that wine swag.
Okay, which I haven't looked at all that yet. So
Yeah. So I went over it all. So I'll post this recording.
okay.
You can see it, but I did also make a post about it as well. So you can look at the flyer. And then I also sent an email out today reminding everyone of the training tonight. And I put the flyer in there too. So if you got an email from me today, it's in there too.
Okay. And so it hasn't been announced though when Crush is.
It's always the same time every year. So it'll be usually like the 3rd weekend of April. But it's not, they didn't announce where it is yet.
Okay. Okay.
So it'll be in some fun city.
Yes.
Um,
So if they're letting you start earn it now, is that typical?
no, they have not done this before.
So it might be not like local, like in state, maybe, possibly.
No, it's probably, I mean, it'll be in the US. They're giving us an opportunity to build our momentum for the fall. So what better way to do that? And we just came out of Crush, so people are really pumped about Crush.
Yeah.
It really is the best. So highly recommend. And if you can earn it for free,
Yeah.
like why not earn it for free? It's at least a $600 value.
Yes, definitely do it. They let us earn Crush free when it was virtual a couple of years ago, which was really cool. Because this last year, I don't think we could earn it free. Could we? I don't think that was out there, was it? Last year, Jenna? Is Jenna frozen?
Yeah.
I was like,
I think
she's
so.
just
Yeah.
not
No, it
moving.
wasn't free last year.
I was gonna say I don't think there was an opportunity for us to earn it free, but 2 years ago
I
we
don't
could
think so
when it
either.
was virtual, and it was awesome because like all this free